What's up, y'all? It's Shay. So, this is a topic I just feel like has to be talked about because from the branches of 2021 to now, the topic was he's old, he needs to retire, we need to get younger. We as in the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? That was the topic when it came to the life of the man to my left, who is Ben Roethlisberger. See, the thing that bothers me in this take that's brought to you by Make It Make Sense, because right now it doesn't, which is why I'm making this topic, which is why I'm making this take. The thing is that bothers me is that you begged for this man on the left in the lights of Ben Roethlisberger to retire because you wanted to get younger. You wanted to become more mobile. You wanted to be able to address or adjust to today's time, which requires a mobile quarterback that can throw on the run, move around the pocket, and make basically something out of nothing time to time, right? Explain to me, how is Aaron Rodgers going to be that guy at this point in his career? Aaron Rodgers, who's only a year younger than Ben Roethlisberger. And the thing that irks me about you, Steeler Nation, is this. You begged for Ben to retire because you wanted to be younger. You wanted a younger guy. You felt like he was holding the team back. The money question is, what do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to do? What is he going to do that number 7 could not do? Before you answer that, let that question sink in and then come back to answer the question. Because you want to get younger, you want to get faster, you want a mobile quarterback. Okay, understandable. How does Aaron Rodgers check any of those boxes if he's only a year or two younger than the guy that you begged to retire? Less than 3 years ago, y'all were celebrating because not only were you were not thankful for what he did for you, you was thankful that he finally retired and granted you guys your wish. He hasn't been Roethlisberger. But now, less than 5 years later, you're begging for a dude who came a year in the league after him to now be your starting quarterback because you feel he gives you the best shot at winning. He who is more of a hostage, he who's going to cost more money this season than Ben Roethlisberger cost in 2021, because the rumor has it he's asking for $45 million guaranteed for 2 years at least. That's $90 million in 2 years. Versus Ben Roethlisberger, who had a cap hit of $40 million, but of course that decreased as he did take a couple of pay cuts to adjust his cap space, or how much of that he was going to take up. But the point is, Aaron Rodgers, who is now much older back then now than he was back then, or much older now than Ben was back then, is going to cost about $5 to $6 million more at the minimum to a team of a fan base who wants to get younger, who wants to get faster, who wants to be more mobile. Aaron Rodgers is not going to make a difference. If anything, it's only going to set you back another year or two, because we know how he gets when you get younger guys, and that's another thing. You villainize Big Ben for voicing out. How does that help us win now, when he stated that when the Steelers drafted Mason Rudolph in 2018 with a top 5, top 10 roster, on paper, especially with a top 3, top 5 offense, arguably a top 10 defensive line, and you had a secondary that was just shredded and needed to be adjusted. Instead, you prioritize the future than win now. You villainize Ben for that, and now you want a guy who is known to do the same exact thing, just more publicly, to now be your starting quarterback because you feel he gives you the chance now. The thing that just bothers me, you wanted to get younger then, why don't you want to now? What is number 12 going to do for you that number 7 couldn't? How is this going to help you get younger? A guy that's only younger, a year or two younger than what we had in the building, and that most of you wanted out because you felt he was the problem, you felt he was the hostage, etc., etc. But if you would have campaigned for the younger talent that we didn't even give a full year to, Hell, we ain't even give half a year to, who is now on the Jets, we wouldn't be in this predicament not right now. Now would we be? Make it make sense, Steeler Nation, because this is the thing. When you was calling for Ben to retire, he was coming off a catastrophic elbow surgery, finished his career with a 55 for 20 stat line, 55 touchdowns, 20 interceptions, with over 7,000 yards coming off the elbow surgery, with a depleted offensive line, practically depleted receiving corps. Don't get me started on the coordinators in the likes of Randy Fitchner and Matt Canada, who both Aaron Rodgers has had everything better than I just mentioned and still couldn't get the job done. Couldn't even get to a 500 or better record, let alone a playoff berth. And yet, this is the guy I'm supposed to be sold on to come to Pittsburgh and become a difference maker at this point in his career, because he's the same Aaron Rodgers we remember that had the 4 MVPs in Green Bay. I don't think so. I don't think so. The Jets played that trick already. The Jets played that game already, and now they are about to F around and find out why they should have never made that trade. Because now look at the predicament they in. They really have no draft capital. We gave them luck when we allowed Justin Fields to walk out the door and sign with them for a 2-year deal with $30 million guaranteed, as if we didn't have almost as much as cap money to spend on that and could have handed him that same exact deal, which is something I already talked about in my previous video. But I just don't see the difference between one being in the building other than the other. Instead, the other, we knew what we was going to get. We knew we had a shot. I don't see that in number 12 right now. Because one, I don't see him being a team player. I see him being more of a media hog than anything. And I think I speak for all Steeler Nation when I say the last thing that this team and this organization needs at this point is another media hostage. Is another damn opportunity to have a camera in your face or to be the buzz of the town or the buzz of the league for anything other than winning football games, particularly playoff games, which your organization was once known for doing, which I don't believe this guy is going to bring you back to that promised land, because his priorities, in my opinion, is not about winning. It's about who's going to cater to him the most. And at this point, with an aging defense, who's with your star players like Minka and TJ clocking 10 years damn near, versus Cameron Hayward who's clocking 15, your priority needs to be a team guy who is young, who is mobile, who can help you compete and win now. And I don't see that in Aaron Rodgers. I mean, at this point, if you're going to beg for number 12, you was better off keeping number 7. You forced the man to retire just to bring a guy in who's only a year or two younger than him, who's more of a hostage, who brings more unwanted attention to your team. And this is who I'm supposed to be happy about. So we did all of that, begged Ben to retire, did all that celebrating, saying thank God now we could get younger, just to bring a dude in who's only a year or two younger, which is going to put us back even further than we were when number 7 was there in 2021. This is just another take. Sorry for that. This is just another take of Make It Make Sense, Steeler Nation. Make it make sense. Thank you for tuning in to the latest sports take. For more content and or coverage on your favorite leagues and sports teams, give me a follow on your favorite platforms at Shaymax Sports, along with my podcast a follow at The Shaymax Show to listen to more.